Ciao everyone, it's Ian D'Agata here, and with the Ian D'Agata Wine Review. I'm very happy today to be in one of the world famous wineries of Italy, but really well known internationally, Vietti, a very famous producer of Barolo, but not just Barolo, Barbaresco, Timorasso, very famous producer of Barbera, really some of Italy's best Barbera wines. Today, we're with Eugenio Palumbo, the winemaker, who's been at Vietti, believe it or not, 23 years. He looks like he's 25. Lucky him. It's all those antioxidants in Barolo and Barbera and Barbaresco. We're going to talk about a vineyard that has become famous now in Barolo circles. Maybe 25 years ago, nobody ever talked about Ravera, and it's the Ravera vineyard in Novello, because there is another Ravera vineyard. So this is the Ravera of Novello, which is a very famous cru. And so tell us a little bit about your Ravera bottling. When did you first make it? How large is the vineyard?
Yeah, so we bought the land, the vineyard there in 96, and we started to produce our first vintage in 99 and 2000. Then we decided to stop the production of Ravera because we think that we didn't reach the real Ravera expression yet. And so we started to invest a lot of time in experimentation in the cellar. I love to describe this wine our learning by doing Barolo, because we did different experimentation, and definitely the one that we select was the way to, after the fermentation, that for us is usual to do a submerged cap fermentation for around 30 days. We move quickly in big cask to have a malolactic very, very slow. And it's usual for this wine to finish the malolactic in the beginning of spring time. So this gives to this wine a great freshness in the nose and a great expression of tannin in the mouth.
So what is it about the Ravera vineyard or cru that requires you to vinify maybe differently compared to Villero or Rocche di Castiglione?
Because if you think about Ravera is the southest part of the Barolo region, but at the same time is probably the more fresh part of the Barolo area, because it's very influenced by the cold air that is coming from the mountains, because these vineyards are facing mountains. And so also the flat of Cuneo Valley that we have in front of Ravera is very open. And this wind come in Ravera in all year long. And so the ripeness of the fruit is totally different. You cannot compare this ripeness to the ripeness of Villero, of Rocche, of the most classical part and more protected part of the Barolo area. So normally we pick the Ravera 10, 12, also 15 days in some vintages after Rocche, Monvigliero, Brunate, Cerequio, Villero. Yeah. So this is the reason why we need to find another way, a different way of production.
And Ravera is a very big cru. So really, the last question is, which part of Ravera are you in? And what are the characteristics of your Ravera Barolo? Because the Barolos of Ravera, because it is such a big cru, can actually be very different wines. So what are the characteristics of your Barolo Ravera, and what part of Ravera are you in?
Yeah, Ravera is, as you mentioned, is a big cru, is a big mansion. And our part of Ravera is, we are bordering to Bricco Pernice of El Eugenio. So we are probably in the historical part of Ravera. And the exposure is southwest exposure in this portion of Ravera. And I think the peculiarity of this area is to have this fantastic freshness and some agrumal sensation in the nose, but at the same time, this big mouth in terms of layers. So the wine is very deep, is intense. And when we taste this wine, normally we say, oh, yeah, it's too young to taste this wine. And many times, this area needs more time to be drinkable, to be more approachable.
How old are your vines here, more or less?
So the vineyards are planted, a portion is planted in, the oldest part is planted in the 60s,
Okay.
and the other part is planted in 80s.
All right. Well, Barolo Ravera by Vietti, one of their really recently most popular wines. They're all good here. They have so many crus you can choose from, like Eugenio said, Montbelliero, Rocca di Castiglione, Villero. But the Ravera certainly gives a very beautiful Barolo, and highly recommended. And thank you, Eugenio.
Thank you, Ian.
On to the next video.
Ciao.